Hey guys, it's been a while since I last done my rant on a SpongeBob episode. Well, I got a treat for you guys. I'm doing another SpongeBob episode rant episode on another SpongeBob episode that I don't like. And that is the pink Purloiner. So, with that said, I hope you enjoy, and let's get this started, shall we folks? Cue the intro, please. Hello guys, my name's Jonathan's Media Shack here again, and today, here is my review slash rant on the Pink Purloiner from Season 4. So basically, what the plot's about is the episode starts at the annual jellyfish migration. SpongeBob and Patrick goes to jellyfish fields to see several rare and exotic species of jellyfish. The two began jellyfishing, with SpongeBob using All Reliable. And at the end of the day, SpongeBob was very successful with his All Reliable, while Patrick, on the other hand, wasn't. And he was unable to catch anything, because, yeah, SpongeBob boasts the superiority of his net to Patrick, who claims he would kill to own a net like that. Then the next morning, SpongeBob finds All Reliable missing and he freaks out about it, posting missing jellyfish net posters all over the town with a promise of a reward, interrupting the local news to announce this. Of course, Mr. Krabs watched the announcement and he agrees to find All Reliable, but he only does it for a reward because he's selfish. What can you expect from Mr. Krabs? He's so selfish that he doesn't give a damn about anything else. SpongeBob then becomes unsuccessful in his search and he gives up finding All Reliable. And that night, he sees Patrick happily playing with his jellyfishing net before he goes to bed. And he complains that Patrick is lucky. And SpongeBob then realizes that Patrick's old net disintegrated yesterday. And he believes that Patrick has stolen All Reliable. Okay, when did SpongeBob had ever became mistrustful to Patrick's star, thinking that he was the one that stole his jellyfishing net? That doesn't make any sense to me. SpongeBob being mistrustful to Patrick. Yeah, we'll explain that on the very end. And the following morning, SpongeBob gives Patrick a confessor bail to try to make Patrick confess that he took the missing net. Patrick doesn't even mention this, but you know what he said instead? He said that he knocked SpongeBob's toothbrush into his toilet and put it back on the counter without washing it. Okay, that's really gross. And great, toilet humor again. I don't understand what's with the potty humor in this episode. It's not really funny at all in this episode. I thought it was really gross. and it stopped the conversation and making a horrified SpongeBob rubbing his tongue in absolute disgust. And later on, SpongeBob goes to Patrick's rock to talk and sees Patrick's shadow with a net, but Patrick still has no signs of having the net. And that made SpongeBob even more mistrustful than ever. The next day, SpongeBob pretends to go to work, and he actually spies on Patrick for 8 hours but sees nothing but Patrick standing still. He eventually sees Patrick carrying a box and uses a false mustache to disguise himself as a man who's interested in purchasing what's inside the box for $1 billion. Sorry about that. $1 billion. Sorry guys, I messed that up. Patrick says he would not sell it for any price because it is his friend SpongeBob's. And SpongeBob stops him right there, finally believing it was Patrick while taking off his mustache. Wow. The more I think about this episode, the more mistrustful SpongeBob had become to Patrick. Like, dude, he didn't do nothing wrong to you, and yet you accused him for stealing his jellyfishing net? Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me at all. Since Patrick did not realize it was him in disguise, SpongeBob points this out to him. Patrick questions his reasons for as SpongeBob accuses him of stealing his net, and Patrick defends himself as his friend. But SpongeBob really insults him and brings up his earlier sentence. Patrick then finishes that sentence saying, "gift," to his great surprise. It was revealed that the box contains a net built by Patrick for SpongeBob to replace Reliable. SpongeBob is torn between sorry about that. SpongeBob is torn between gratitude for Patrick's generosity and guilt for accusing his friend falsely. Of course, because he had been mistrustful to Patrick's star, that he had to accuse him for no reason, and to be such a big asshole to Patrick's star. Patrick then gets upset at SpongeBob for ever suspecting him, and he prepares to leave Bikini Bottom. And he packs everything with his pants, and he goes in his underwear. Okay. Ugh. I know it's a cartoon, but still. That's really gross, okay? As Patrick prepares to leave Bikini Bottom, the bus arrives and Patrick is about to climb aboard when SpongeBob grabs hold of him, begging his friend not to go while pleading earnestly for Patrick's forgiveness. The bus driver demands to know what was the holdup, and when he sees that it was SpongeBob and Patrick, he gives SpongeBob Reliable, saying that he left the net on the bus. To make up for his accusations against Patrick, SpongeBob gives Reliable to his friend. Patrick is utterly overwhelmed by this gesture and immediately decides to forgive SpongeBob for his thoughtlessness, and he decides to stay in Bikini Bottom after all. Everyone on the bus cheers, much to chagrin of the bus driver, who claims that the two do this kind of thing all the time. And SpongeBob and Patrick then run off to jellyfish fields together to enjoy their new nets during the last days of the jellyfish migration. And that's basically what the plot is for this episode. Guys, what do I think about this? Well, in my opinion, this is a really bad SpongeBob episode. let me give you my reasons why I think that. Okay, first off, SpongeBob and Patrick were were jellyfishing together at the beginning, and SpongeBob had his old reliable, and Patrick was very unsuccessful, unlike SpongeBob, and his net disintegrated. And then the next day, SpongeBob wakes up and he freaks out, all because his net was gone, all reliable was gone. He couldn't at least stop panicking or think or use his common sense to know where it is. Like the bus driver mentioned, he left it on a bus. He could have at least done that. And you know what's worse? SpongeBob had become mistrustful to Patrick Star. Why? He accused him to thinking that he was the one that stole or reliable. Patrick then becomes very upset at SpongeBob at the end, and he decides to leave because SpongeBob had become like a very bad friend to Patrick. Yeah, what a great friend SpongeBob is in this episode. Now, in case you didn't know, that was sarcasm. SpongeBob was literally a bad friend of Patrick Star at this episode. He didn't trust him or believe of every word that he said. Like, SpongeBob, he's your best friend, and you have to accuse him like that, even if he didn't do anything. What's wrong with this episode? And the toilet humor again. Yes, the toilet humor where Patrick talks to the Confessor Bear. He said he knocked SpongeBob's toothbrush into his toilet and put it back on the counter without washing it. Okay, that's really gross. What's up with the toilet humor? I don't find it funny at all. I just find it to be really gross. And the way that SpongeBob thought that Patrick had become like evil. Well, in some episodes, Patrick was a bad friend to SpongeBob. Like in the card, he was a really bad friend in the card because he ruined the card after SpongeBob says to take care of it, but yet he did the exact opposite. In this one, SpongeBob was a bad friend because he was accusing him and he was mistrustful to Patrick throughout the entire time. Like, instead of accusing Patrick, why don't you stop and think where you left it? Don't just blame someone for something that they didn't do, okay? That's really dumb, okay? Overall, everything I could say about the pink Purloiner, it's bad. I don't know what the hell the director was thinking, but they could have at least done a much better job. Like, SpongeBob could have at least remembered where he last had it or left it. But no, they decide to scrap that and make SpongeBob accuse Patrick for no damn reason at all. And at the end, he gets what he deserves. Because that bus driver gave SpongeBob his net back. And he gives it all reliable to Patrick. Yeah. And the way that Patrick packs everything with his pants and goes in his underwear, that's gross. Okay? Part 2 will be in session, so stay tuned.